Yeah, hey guys, what's up? Dr. Sexy and here. I promised you a tutorial, sex tutorial, which is a follow-up from the question that was asked in a previous video about anal sex. And this video, we're going to talk about, how you can get started, what to do, because there are a lot of persons interested in having anal sex. It is still considered very taboo. It's like the anus is this uncharted territory, this do not touch, leave it alone. It's the big elephant in the room that everybody's afraid to talk about. But before we get into the mechanics of anal sex, I just want to, just let you know, across the board, the body from crown to soul can experience pleasure. The entire body can experience pleasure. There's no rule that says your pleasure must only be limited to certain parts of your body. Now, we recognize that there are some persons who will have more preference, like some places are more pleasurable for some than others. But this whole squeamishness as it relates to the anus, and don't touch it because, to the point where some man afraid of them anus so much they can't even wet them bottom properly. I mean, come on, this skid mark thing is a problem. Gentlemen, learn how to use tissue. I'll come back. So, when it comes to anal sex, the first thing is approach it with patience. This is not one of them run up in a magnum kind of situations. This is not one of those things that you can just do a ram bam, thank you ma'am, no. But no, this is something, especially if it's the first time you're doing it, it's going to take some patience. Picture it the same way your first vaginal penetration was. The girls, you can relate to this. The first time you had vaginal penetration, for a lot of women, it was not very pleasurable. And I think that's a part, that has a lot to do with, their partner and how they felt. Maybe they weren't relaxed enough, maybe they weren't turned on enough, or, it's a new experience, you're kind of fumbling your way through it. So the same approach should be taken with anal sex. Now, a lot of persons are not used to being penetrated anally, so it's gonna, you have to work your way in. You can't just run in up on it, so you know what I mean? So the first thing is, I talk a lot about having a conversation. Yes, you need to have the conversation. You and your partner is going to do this thing. You need to be clear. You need to talk about it. Talk about what you like, what you don't like, your do's and don'ts. Are you apprehensive? Do you want to do this? Do you think, do you have concerns? Do you want to try just using fingers instead of a penis this time? You want to take it slow? Or you want to, go all the way? What kind of lube do you like? Are you allergic to different kind of lubes? Find out the lubes that work for you. But you definitely have to have the conversation. There's no way around it. You have to talk about it. And this is like everything else that I say with sex. I must type it. I said this already, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not do anything you don't want to do. You don't want a penis in your ass? Say so. Okay. So you decided to go ahead with it. You've had the conversation. Step number 1. Get her very turned on. Get the person receiving the penis in the anus very aroused, because the more pleasure they're feeling, the more relaxed they will be. And the sphincter muscle, which is that muscle that keeps the anus closed, that makes it have a kind of rosebud kind of thing, the sphincter is a weird word, sphincter muscle needs to be relaxed for it to feel good. If it's tense, it's clenching and all of that, that's going to not be so pleasurable. So it needs to be relaxed. So the more turned on the person is the more relaxed the sphincter muscle will be, and so the more susceptible they will be to the penetration, right? So that's the first thing, get them really turned on. All right. Second thing is start with something small. So start with a finger. Get your finger all nice and lube up. Wash your hands so. Oh, I have to tell them about the cleanliness, something big, and make sure you don't want to do something there, fix all that part there. So, right. So now we're gonna get the fingers all lubed up, and you're going to start with a digit. Now you get the area lubed up as well, and you're going to slowly penetrate. It's not something that you have to poke. Don't force it. Don't push it. But I'm saying if you're getting the person aroused, you can apply some oral action here. Get them very aroused. Even then get a 1 or 2 little orgasm in there. That will be good because they'll be even more relaxed. So get them very much aroused and try to just stimulate them with familiar feelings that they really enjoy doing. So if say kissing them on them left nipple drive them wild, then kiss them on them left nipple while you try to penetrate. If you know that kissing them on them right side, right below the wrinkle, right above that little freckle there, make them skippy, then do that. You know what I mean? So you want to get them as excited and as aroused as possible, and start off with a finger. Now when they get used to the finger, when the finger starts feeling good, keep the penetration going. When it starts feeling good, they will respond. And when that starts feeling good, you can add another finger. Yeah, and keep the penetration, keep doing every other thing. They're still turned on, they're still excited, and do that. And when they're ready, and this is important, they have to be ready, right? You can start using the head of the penis to kind of play with the area. And yes, I'm asking you to multitask, but trust me, you will be happy with the results. So multitask. Kiss them where they like to be kissed. Do all the other things that keeps them excited and all that. Because the more excited they are, the more turned on they are, the more relaxed they are, and the more able they will be to not feel any pain or any discomfort when the penetration happens. And it's a slow thing, as I said. If you're one of them persons who's in a hurry, then this is not the exercise that you need to participate in. If you're one of them persons that just out for you and you don't care about the other person's pleasure, then this isn't an exercise for you to participate in. There are a lot of couples right now who enjoy anal sex, who loves it. As a matter of fact, I know about 3 ladies right now who says that their vagina is retiring for a minute. They're giving, give it a rest and go and work with them anus in the meantime. And it's a different kind of sensation. As I said, it is something that both you and your partner must be open to exploring. And once you find the rhythm, once they get used to the penetration, then you can slowly, very slowly introduce the penis. Now you're going to introduce the penis and you're going to allow their bodies to grow to it. Because as I said, it's the same thing. If you get a virgin vagina, you can't just run up in there. Yeah? So you have to work your way in. You have to, soothe and calm and relax and cajole and entice and caress and arouse and get the person very, very excited and wanting it. Let them beg for you. Let them scream and beg for you. Because you're going to get to the point now where they're like, oh my God, just do it already. They have some I met a guy the other night who said, every time I have sex with a girl, if she said, you must fuck her, kill her. So she might say that, hey. So anyhow, yeah, so when it comes to anal penetration, it takes some getting used to and some action or whatever, but you can definitely do it, and it can be a lot of pleasure for both of you and a lot of fun for both of you, when you get over the anxiety of it. Now, this is something that I always say, never have unprotected anal sex. And and that's not just for the receivers' health, is for the giver's health as well, because you might want to penetrate other parts of the body and you don't want to transfer bacteria. So never have unprotected anal sex. And always be aware that when everything is said and done, wash up and clean up and make sure everything is taken care of. But as I said, it's an exercise that everybody enjoys. It's an exercise that a lot of persons right now is like the new flavor of the month. So if you're interested in trying it, get yourself a lot of lube. You need lube. There's no way around the lube. Saliva is not going to do it. You need lube. If you're not allergic to silicone lube, I think probably works better in the anus. If you're going to, you have to use a condom, so use a water-based use for condoms. So they have some silicone that's saying silicone feel that's water-based. So get your lubes, and you need to have you cannot OD the lube. The wetter, the better. So definitely get your lube and deal with the thing, and you can have a good time, enjoy yourself, and definitely make sure your partner feels comfortable. And at the end of the day, after having a conversation, if you decide not to go ahead with it, that's okay too. It's just about what it is that makes you comfortable and what makes you feel pleasure and what works for your relationship. So, get your freak on. In the meantime, guys, you can continue to send me your questions, drsexylive@gmail.com, and you can also follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, Dr. Sexy Ann. Leave your comments below, share it, subscribe to my page, and like it, and definitely tell all your friends about it. In the meantime, take care, guys.